Decoded.
Welcome back to Book Decoded. Ready to level up your fitness game, especially if you're over 40, like me. Today we're cracking open The New Fit by Aaron Leventhal.
Oh, this book. It's like a personal trainer and a wise friend all rolled into one. You know what I find really refreshing is Leventhal doesn't just preach from a mountaintop. He's been through it himself. He even shares his journey with cancer and how it totally changes perspective on fitness.
Right. That really resonated with me. He's not just talking the talk, he's walking the walk. And one of the first things he tackles is this idea of the overtraining trap, which I think so many of us fall into. We assume that more is always better. But Leventhal makes a compelling case for why that's not necessarily true.
Yeah, he uses a great example in the book about a woman named Mary who was training for a marathon. You'd think with all those miles she'd be getting leaner, but she actually gained weight.
What is that even possible?
That's the overtraining trap in action. Leventhal explains our bodies need time to recover and adapt after intense workouts. If we're constantly pushing without enough rest, we can actually hinder our progress.
So it's not just about how hard you work, but also how well you recover. That's a game changer for me.
Totally. He breaks down the body's adaptation cycle into 3 phases: stimulus, fatigue, and recovery. And he stresses that recovery is just as crucial as the workout itself. He even suggests checking for soreness a day or two after a workout as an indicator of whether you're pushing hard enough and giving yourself enough recovery time.
Okay, I'm starting to rethink my whole fitness routine now. Leventhal also challenges some conventional wisdom about strength training. I've always thought things like yoga and Pilates were enough, but he makes a pretty convincing argument for why we need to rethink that.
Absolutely. He argues that those activities, while beneficial, don't provide the kind of intense stimulus that our bodies need, especially as we age. He's a big advocate for heavy strength training, focusing on compound movements like squats, deadlifts, and presses.
And I have to admit, I was one of those people who was afraid of getting bulky from lifting weights. But Leventhal debunks that myth big time. He explains that as we get older, our hormone levels naturally decline, making it much harder to build significant muscle mass.
And he even shares a really inspiring story about his friend Carrie, who was in her late 40s and hesitant to lift heavy weights. But once she finally embraced it, she saw amazing changes, not just physically, but also in her energy levels and overall well-being.
Okay, I'm officially sold on heavy strength training. But how do we know where to start? Leventhal has this really cool concept of a personalized fitness checkup that anyone can do at home.
Yes. He has these 5 simple assessments that give you a snapshot of your current fitness level. The sit to rise, the dead hang, the 1-minute sit to stand, the 2-minute hand release push-up, and the classic 1-mile run.
I love that he focuses on functional movements that translate to everyday life.
Exactly. And each test has clear standards associated with it, so you can see where you stand and track your progress over time. He calls this your overall fit score.
So it's like a baseline for your fitness journey. But Leventhal reminds us that fitness isn't just about hitting the gym. It's about a holistic approach that encompasses our lifestyle and nutrition. He has a whole section on the dangers of sitting too much.
He even calls sitting the new smoking, which is a pretty powerful statement. He points to research that links prolonged sitting to an increased risk of heart disease, diabetes, and even certain types of cancer.
He actually recommends aiming to sit for less than 4 hours a day. That might sound extreme. But even small changes like taking walking meetings or standing up more frequently can make a big difference.
And he also emphasizes the importance of sleep, which is so often overlooked. He recommends aiming for at least 8 hours of quality sleep per night to allow our bodies to recover and rebuild.
He even suggests doing some light stretching or foam rolling before bed to help relax the body and promote better sleep.
Now let's dive into the nutrition side of things. Leventhal busts a lot of common myths about dieting, stressing that it's not about quick fixes, but about building sustainable habits.
He's all about eating whole, unprocessed foods and minimizing sugar and alcohol intake.
And this is where he brings in this fascinating concept of the blue zones, those regions around the world where people live exceptionally long and healthy lives.
I've heard about those.
What's interesting is that people in the blue zones don't follow any fancy diets or restrictive meal plans. Their approach to food is very simple and focuses on whole, unprocessed foods, mostly from plant sources. They also tend to eat in moderation and stop eating when they're about 80% full. Leventhal actually has this great challenge in the book called the 800-gram vegetable challenge. Have you heard of that one?
That sounds intense.
It is. The idea is to eat 800 grams of fruits and vegetables every single day before you eat anything else. It's a way to really prioritize those nutrient-dense foods.
That's a great way to reframe your approach to eating. I also love how Leventhal encourages us to experiment with intermittent fasting. He shares his own experiences with different methods, like the 24-hour weekly fast, the 12-hour daily fast, and even what he calls a random 16 to 18-hour fast.
And what I appreciate is that he doesn't present any one method as the holy grail of fasting. He emphasizes that the best approach depends on your individual lifestyle, preferences, and even your body type.
Oh, yes. Body types. He briefly touches on that, too. He talks about ectomorphs, mesomorphs, and endomorphs. This stuff always makes my head spin a little.
Yeah, it can be confusing. But I think Leventhal's point is that it's helpful to have a general understanding of your body type so you can tailor your fitness and nutrition strategies accordingly.
So it's not about pigeonholing yourself.
Yeah.
But about using that knowledge as a starting point to figure out what works best for you. Now let's circle back to those 5 fitness assessments. I have to admit, I was a little skeptical at first, but I love how they're designed to reveal so much about our overall health and fitness.
It really are a brilliant way to gauge your baseline. And that first one, the sit to rise test, is so deceptively simple yet profound.
I know. You wouldn't think that something as basic as sitting down on the floor and standing back up without using your hands or knees could be so revealing. But it actually tells us a lot about our mobility, flexibility, balance, and even our longevity.
Leventhal even calls it a powerful predictor of longevity.
That's fascinating. So if you find yourself struggling to get up and down from the floor, it could be a sign that you need to focus on those areas.
Exactly. It's a wake-up call to prioritize functional strength and flexibility, those movements that we need for everyday life.
And then we have the dead hang test, which I think a lot of people underestimate. It's not just about grip strength, is it?
It's so much more than that. Grip strength is actually a good indicator of overall health and has even been linked to cognitive function.
Wow. I never knew that.
The longer you can hang, the better. But even if you can't hang at all right now, it's a sign that you need to start working on it. And there are lots of simple exercises you can do to improve your grip strength.
Okay, challenge accepted. Next up is the 1-minute sit-to-stand test, which is a killer for the legs.
It definitely gets the heart rate up. It's a great way to measure lower body strength and endurance, simulating those everyday movements, like getting up from a chair or climbing stairs.
And then there's the 2-minute hand release push-up test, which really targets upper body strength and endurance.
That hand release is key because it ensures that you're doing a full push-up each time.
And finally, we have the good old 1-mile run, which is a classic test of cardiovascular fitness.
Even if you're not a runner, it's a good way to gauge your aerobic capacity and how efficiently your body uses oxygen.
You know, as we're talking about these tests, I'm realizing that Leventhal's approach to fitness is all about meeting you where you are. He's not expecting everyone to be a marathon runner or a power lifter. He's providing tools and guidance to help you assess your current fitness level and work from there.
And that's what I find so empowering about this book. It's not about fitting into some predefined mold, but about finding what works best for you.
He even talks about how his cancer diagnosis and treatment forced him to reevaluate his priorities.
He realized that fitness wasn't just about achieving a certain aesthetic or performance level, but about having energy, feeling good in his body, and living life to the fullest.
That really shifted his whole mindset, and I think it's such an important message for all of us. He talks about this concept of chasing fitness, which I absolutely love.
It's not about reaching some end goal, but about embracing the journey, constantly striving to improve, exploring new challenges, and pushing your limits, while honoring your body and its unique needs.
And that journey is going to look different for everyone. What resonates with me is his emphasis on finding joy in movement and connecting with activities that you genuinely enjoy.
He even encourages you to think back to your childhood or your younger years and remember those activities that lit you up, whether it was dancing, swimming, hiking, or playing a sport.
It's about reconnecting with that sense of playfulness and passion that often gets lost as we get older.
And remember, it's never too late to start. No matter your age or fitness level, there's always room for improvement and growth.
I'm feeling so inspired right now.
Me too. And speaking of inspiration, Leventhal provides some great insights into how to design a workout plan that's both effective and sustainable.
Yes, he talks about the importance of structuring your training week in a way that maximizes results while minimizing the risk of injury.
He suggests starting the week with a heavy compound lift day, focusing on those multi-joint movements that work several muscle groups at once.
Those are the squats, deadlifts, And press, as we were talking about earlier.
Exactly. And then throughout the week, he recommends incorporating aggressive interval training, specific strength training for smaller muscle groups, and what he calls mixed element challenge days, which sound like a lot of fun.
I love that he mixes things up to keep it interesting. And of course, he emphasizes the importance of rest and recovery, particularly on the weekends.
He also provides detailed instructions on how to warm up properly, which becomes even more crucial as we age. He suggests a 3-part warm-up, consisting of foam rolling, dynamic stretching, and movement prep.
That makes a lot of sense. It's about priming your body for the workout ahead and reducing the risk of injury.
And throughout the book, he stresses the importance of listening to your body and adjusting your training plan based on your individual needs and recovery capacity.
It's not about pushing through pain or blindly following a program. It's about honoring your body and working with it, not against it. And one thing that really stood out to me was his emphasis on single-sided exercises.
Oh, yeah, that's a great point. It's something most of us don't even think about. But we tend to have imbalances between our dominant and non-dominant sides.
So those traditional exercises, like squats and push-ups, might not be telling the whole story.
Exactly. They allow our stronger side to compensate, masking those underlying imbalances. Single-sided exercises, like lunges, step-ups, and single-arm rows, force each side to work independently, revealing any weaknesses and helping us correct them.
That makes so much sense. And it's not just about strength.
Right. It's about improving stability, balance, and coordination, which are crucial for preventing falls and injuries, especially as we get older.
Leventhal even suggests doing everyday activities on one leg, like brushing your teeth or standing while you're cooking.
I love that. It's about bringing that awareness into our daily lives and challenging ourselves in subtle ways.
You know, as we're talking about this, I'm realizing that Leventhal's approach to fitness is about so much more than just sets and reps.
It really is. It's about understanding how our bodies work, moving with intention, and developing a deeper connection to ourselves.
And he's so passionate about spinal awareness. He talks about how many of us have lost touch with how our spines move due to prolonged sitting and poor posture.
And that can lead to all sorts of problems, from back pain to decreased mobility.
He encourages us to become more mindful of our spinal alignment throughout the day and to incorporate exercises that promote spinal mobility and stability.
Simple movements like hip hinges, cat-cow stretches, and even just sitting on the floor more often can make a big difference.
It's about re-educating our bodies and restoring those natural movement patterns.
And it all ties back to his philosophy of approaching fitness with a sense of curiosity and self-discovery. It's not about blindly following a program, but about understanding how your body works and what it needs to thrive.
And the new fit gives us the tools and guidance to do just that.
Whether you're just starting your fitness journey or you're a seasoned athlete looking to shake things up, this book has something for everyone.
It's a reminder that it's never too late to embrace a healthier, more fulfilling life through fitness.
And remember that thought-provoking question Leventhal leaves us with. Why is the ability to sit and rise from the floor such a strong predictor of longevity?
It's a challenge to think about what true fitness really means. It's not just about how much weight you can lift or how fast you can run.
It's about moving freely, feeling strong in your body, and living a life full of vitality.
So get up, move your body, and discover the new fit for yourself.
Until next time, keep decoding.